Hi, everyone. We hope you guys are having a great day out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is Mr. Tiska with you once again. And once again, I'm joined by Mrs. Kraft. Mrs. Kraft, how are you?
I am super excited to interpret today's lesson.
Oh, again, I see what you did there.
See, first day I made it happen. Second day I carried it out, and today I'm interpreting it. Yeah, you see how I did that?
Yeah. I'm with you, 100%. We also have Miss Hoff with us. Miss Hoff, how are you?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Oh, and I got nothing. So today we're going to focus on our final branch of government, the judicial branch.
All right, main idea, the judicial branch determines whether or not laws are constitutional.
So it's very funny. A lot of times I get asked this question, Mr. Tiska, what's the most powerful branch of government? And this is just my opinion, but to me, the judicial branch by far and away is the most powerful because the judicial branch interprets the laws. They tell us what they actually mean and what we need to do to follow them. Now, the judicial branch is a system of federal courts headed by the U.S. Supreme Court. It's mentioned in Article 3 of the Constitution. Federal courts can actually strike down a state or federal law if the court finds the law unconstitutional. Now, federal court judges are appointed by the president for life. They can't be fired. They're either in the position for life or until they quit. Now, even though they're appointed by the president, they do have to be approved by the Senate. That's an example of checks and balances. It makes sure that the president does not have too much power and that the president can't just put somebody in there who's not qualified just because he likes them. Now, the federal court system has 3 levels. We're going to start with the lowest level, which is called district courts. And this is where federal cases begin. Currently, there are 94 district courts in the United States. Now, as part of the district courts, you have a judge and you have a jury of 12. 12 people decide if somebody is guilty or not guilty, and all 12 have to agree. If just one of the 12 disagrees or is not sure, it's what we call a hung jury, and the case is over. Now, if you are in district court and the decision doesn't go your way, you can do what's called an appeal. You can ask a higher court to hear your case and decide if the lower court actually ruled correctly. So if you were to appeal your case in district court, it would go up to the next level, which is called circuit courts or appellate courts. And these courts are higher than district courts, and there are currently 13. Now, circuit courts work a little bit differently. In circuit courts, you have a panel of 3 judges. They don't decide whether or not someone's guilty or not guilty. It's not a matter of that anymore. It's a matter of, okay, did the district court interpret the law correctly? Did they decide the case the right way? Now, let's say you're in circuit court and the decision doesn't go your way again. The panel of judges says, nope, sorry. You know what? The district court did its job the right way. The decision is final. You can actually appeal it again. And if you appeal it again, it will go to the highest court, which is the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court doesn't have to hear your case. In fact, they get hundreds and hundreds of cases each year, and they only hear a select few. But I'm going to let Mrs. Kraft and Ms. Hoff talk more about the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court doesn't just hear appeals. And as Mr. Tiska said, they get thousands of requests and they only agree to hear about 100 cases a year. But there are other kinds of cases that actually begin in the Supreme Court. So if you have a dispute between 2 states or something that involves foreign ambassadors, that starts at the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court is made up of 9 justices and led by a Chief Justice. And it's an odd number, so this way you don't have any kinds of ties. The Supreme Court, if they rule one way or another, there is no place else for you to go. So they are the final word. And there's a picture right in front of you of the current Supreme Court. And you'll notice that this Supreme Court has women and African-American man on it, but it was not always that way.
So, recent justices include Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American justice appointed in 1967, and Sandra Day O'Connor, who was the first female justice appointed in 1981.
And just so you guys know, just to eliminate confusion, the African-American gentleman, his name is Clarence Thomas, and then the elderly woman sitting in the front, that is Ruth Gator Ginsburg, and they've both been on the court for years and years and years. But just so you guys know, you see the 4 justices standing in the back. All 4 of those justices have been selected or appointed by our last 2 presidents. The 2 on the end, Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, were appointed by President Trump, and then the 2 ladies in the middle were appointed by President Obama. So the court, even though they are selected for life, it can change rather quickly depending on the situation of the court.
And I think that's it for today.
Mrs. Kraft, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, thanks very much. Oh, wait, I do want to say something. So Mr. Tiska told you that they are there for life. And I just want to make sure that you understand that the reason that these Supreme Court justices are there for life is so that they can vote based on what they know is the law, and they don't have to worry about getting fired by the current president if he doesn't agree with their politics. So it kind of removes them from having to do what your boss says.
And I'm actually really glad you mentioned that, because something else that I wanted to mention was that justices can be impeached. We talked in our last screencast about how a president can be impeached, charges can be brought against them. So a Supreme Court justice and a federal court judge can be removed from their position if there is enough evidence to suggest that they need to be removed from their position. So they're not untouchable by any means. The other thing I want to mention, because this comes up quite a bit in my class, the Chief Justice, he is seen as the leader of the court, but he does not stand above the court. He doesn't have any other special perks other than the fact that he just has the title of Chief Justice. So just to be clear. Ms. Hoff, anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it.
All right, guys, have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.